Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light. Friends. Red and blue, purple light. Friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light to the family. Peace, love and light to the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.
To the family. Peace, love, and light to the family. Peace to you and yours. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for this evening, Brother Red Pillar, aka Schooly Red. And I'm talking about, and that song that you just heard, that track that you just heard, that soon to be platinum single right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Facts remix by none other than the 44 Tops. 44 Tops. All right. Who? This song will be, matter of fact, we will be shooting a video, a performance on February 8th at Brother Rich's event in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a movie. We're gonna have it's he already sold 1,000 tickets, right? It's already 1,000 sold. So just imagine melanated people dressed, I'm talking about fresh to death, right? On some royal, and just imagine how that's gonna look in 4K. Everybody moving to the grooving. You know, we're gonna shoot a video that day, and we're gonna have the album. I just listened to the whole album last night. It came back to me mastered and whatnot. Yeah, we got a banger right here. You know what I'm talking about? We got a classic. We got another one, and another one, right? You feel me? So y'all are gonna be very pleased with the final product. My mic sounds muffled. Let me check this. Hold on. Let me see something. Oh, Lord. Microphone. There we go. Oh, my goodness. How did we sound just now? How did we sound? We sounding better? We sounding wetter? You know what I'm talking about? We sounding cheddar? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the roll call. I was running my mouth, pardon me, y'all, but we in the building. Tonight is going to be one of those ones. You feel me? One of those ones. This is gonna be one of them ones, like the YN say. You know, I've been in a lab, bro, ever since the show on Tuesday where I was in my bag, I was in my Birkin. Immediately, I took all of that energy and I just went right in the lab. And I went down the rabbit hole, and boy, oh boy, we going in tonight. Tucson, Arizona in the building. South Carolina, Gullah Geechee in the building. You said bring the scary music out. I mean, I'll vote. Yo, this is a democracy. You know what I'm talking about? If y'all want to hear the scary music, let's take a vote. Modesto, California, Cincinnati, Ohio, Chino Hills. We got Connecticut in the building, Bay Area, San Jose. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, it's that season. Nashville, Tennessee, Sacramento, Mississippi, Hartford, Connecticut. If it snowed where you at, just press 1, please. I'm taking a toll. If it snowed where you at since Tuesday, right? Since the last time we got on the internet, put a 1 in a Chattington, okay? This is the way we take, this is our poll. We don't want to, we ain't doing all of that stuff that they be doing. We don't know who they be polling. This is a real poll in real time, okay? Snowing everywhere, bro. Snow on the beach. I seen snow in Jamaica. What's going on? Look, Game of Thrones, the winter is here. White Walkers, Ice Wall, okay? It's no coincidence that when Trump get in office, it's snow everywhere, bro. It's snow everywhere, bro. There's some different shit going on. They said that they had to do the inauguration because it was too cold to be outside. These are northern people saying that. When did you ever hear some cockamamie shit like that in your life? You know what I'm talking about? It don't make no sense. But literally, it's snowing everywhere and it's on fire. It's fires in Cali. What the hell just happened? But let me tell you something. Snow is better than rain. Because goddamn it, the Wiz was laying up watching the snowfall, and she was like, "Yo, this was more peaceful than watching rainfall, snowfall." And I ain't talking about that shit that they doing in LA. Snowfall, right? Very peaceful, negative ions in the atmosphere, the opportune time to manifest in the snow. Let it snow. CT up in this thing. Tell me, New Yorkers, talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? 4 feet snow, 3 feet snow, 2 feet snow. Winter is here. Okay, winter is here. They fucking with the weather, but everybody said that HARP exists. However, nobody said anything about why they didn't turn HARP on in California. If HARP was real, why they didn't make it rain in Southern California? With all of that price, you heard Dave Chappelle, with all of that expensive stuff that burned up, why they didn't turn HARP on and make it rain in Southern California? Why don't they make it rain where they be having droughts and crops die and all of the money gets washed away? Why don't the CEOs and all of these trillionaires say, "Yo, turn the HARP on to make it rain where it's where the fire is at"? Since y'all know how to do that, right? Snow, talk about the ancestors, man. These people don't make it snow, and they don't make it earthquake, hail, and snow. That's not them doing it, right? White Walker, yo, White Walkers filling the building. I'm looking at homie in his first few days. White Walker, look, there's two ends to this movie. This shit right here. There's 2 ends to this this Netflix Tubi series that we watching right now. Season 5 of The Boys with Homelander. There's 2 endings to this season right here. It ends 2 ways. in one way is extreme in a way that you could never fathom in your life. I'm a Scorpio. This shit is set up right now to where he could go the most extreme of what my Scorpio mind could take me, right? In terms of what I could see Trump can do if he wanted to. He could get on TV one day and say, yo, the purges in about 12 hours. We did a vote. Me and the world leaders sat down and had a closed door meeting. We talked about the resources on this planet. We talked about the life. Elon came with the paperwork and the AI research to say that the only way that we're gonna sustain our life on this planet for our children's children is we got to get rid of some excess weight. And we voted, and it's you niggas. Purge starts in 12 hours. Yes, you're welcome. He's letting he let the January 6th dudes out. That's like Suicide Squad. He let the head of the Silk Road out. Homie that was responsible for the Silk Road on the dark web. Even though, you know, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Free the homies and all of that fly shit. Homie got life. He broke him out of the jump off and was like, he you know what I mean? He pardoned Big Meech. He pardoned the white Big Meech because dude, my dude, what's his name? Ulbricht. What somebody dropped homie from Silk Road's name who just came home, who just got pardoned. He was doing life, and Trump let him out. Trump is letting the goons out. Ross, he let Ross Ulbricht out, right? And homie, and he got about 30, he got 300, 400 something, 500 Bitcoins. He was stacking mad biddies. He was running the Silk Road when biddies were like $1. And you had to use Bitcoins to do any transaction on the Silk Road. Son, is crazy. Yeah. Biden pardon. Look, if Ulrich, if we don't have, look. And he freed the other brother who had life too. No, Biden freed him. The Indian. Yeah. Listen, the way that he's sitting there signing off those paper that the executive orders, and I could read faces. I could read faces. I could read body language. I'm looking at homie. I'm like, yo, there's two ways that this season ends. I went to the most extreme. Then the other way that it ends is how any other presidency will end. Nothing changes in America. Everybody is peaceful. The white people, they're just calm and mellow, and you know, they're not listening to any dog whistles, and you know, they're not talking about any type of purging, and they're not ramping up their cultural war and to make it a physical war, and then make it. Let me stop. We're gonna have a great time tonight. I'm back in my teaching bag. You know, I've been working on a lot of things this month, designing merch, you know, for the upcoming February 8th extravagant. This is going to be the biggest event of the year in conscious, in our universe, in our multiverse, in our existence. I don't care about what nobody else is doing. If nothing has been made clear in the past few days, we are not like these niggas that they not like us. They are not like us. I'm not aligning myself with, my timeline is trash right now. The shit that I'm seeing, it is disgusting me. And I'm not talking about in a way where it's like disgusting that where I'm judging. No, the behavior of the majority of the people who look like us, the things that are triggering them, their reactionary shit, this fake outrage shit, this cognitive dissonance thing, like it's compounding and it's stacking and whatnot. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, yo, our people have been caught with their pants down on all sectors. And I'm not going to be accusatory, but on all Biden pardon Marcus Garvey. I'm gonna have some Garvey merch there. Let's see how much y'all really respect that. I'm gonna have some Garvey merch. I'll see how much y'all really care that he pardoned Garvey 100 years later, right? But the fear, I could smell the fear through my phone, bro. I'll be having to drop my phone. My shit is getting heavy, bro. Social media is becoming weighty and whatnot. It is becoming taxing. It went beyond brain rot. It's turning into this Chicken Little shit where the new they cut the they started cutting federal jobs. So the new job is to ambulance chase and to spread fear on TikTok and to look weak online, right? And to be you know, completely unhinged, completely you know, non-culture rated, completely crash. And I mean, I went on a TikTok deep dive. I went on a TikTok deep dive. Bro, they need to pause that app, man. And this is Schoolie Red talking. Let me pull up this other brother from Schoolie High so you understand that I've been outside for eons. So it looked different. It hit different when I see it, right? It hit different. The shit that's going on TikTok, bro, is non-appropriate, man. If the whole world is listen, man, we in Schoolie High tonight. Let me know if we put the scary music on or not. Shout out to Sheik David. Y'all show Sheik David some love. Everybody that sends the super chat, you are going to get a shout out in the chat. However, I do say for my super chatters, we have a deal that we're going to be doing tonight. I'm doing what is that called? I'm trying out something new. So it's basically donation. We're doing a lecture on the 31st, a When in Rome lecture, right? And tonight only, I'm doing the tickets on donation base. So when you send something to what is called Buy Me a Coffee tonight only, everybody who gets a Buy Me a Coffee, it don't matter how many coffees you buy, you get yourself a ticket for the lecture that we're going to be doing on the 31st, because every month my Patreons who are monthly, these are the members, you know, like how Kasinet got subscribers, but then he made records because he got members. That's people who are invested in him. That's who my patrons are. So every month they are promised a full lecture from me, right? And we did a 4-week workshop, and that's wrapping up, and that was a huge success. Shout out to all of the KTLians for pulling up. Y'all made it. We all made history as we was in the 4-week workshop for AI Accelerated. They came out with all of these new tools called agentic tools. They got this new thing that takes over your computer and does your tasks for you and do all type of things. They getting rid of the Mexicans, but they bringing the AI agents in. No, you know, no pun intended. But they removing the help and they making the help automated. That is exactly what's happening right now. Facts. Them people who they making phone calls to ICE, the people that own factories, the people, because they put $700 on the people's head. Remember, this is that Project 2025. Hunger Games, Squid Games. He been in office for a few days, but if the writing is on the wall, you understand? The writing is on the wall. I see what I see. And When in Rome is on the 31st, and we're going to talk about it because tonight I'm going to basically be going through my draft, right, of the lecture that I have. It's definitely subject to change. I could go deep tonight, but there's limits to how deep I could go. There's 2 reasons for that. One, my channel is monetized now. So we in a whole different field. I get commercials. The majority of the videos that I do when I'm turning up, they don't monetize it. They put the yellow shit on it, and that means no bread. But anyway, I can't play videos when it's monetized, right? Because the YouTube got this new thing right now. If you play 10 seconds of somebody else's content, they could strike you on your channel, bro. Your channel could get struck. You could get struck down. So I have to be, and I have a lot of visual video. I teach with video. There are videos that I need y'all to see in this presentation because it's going to go further down a rabbit hole and break through a lot of things. The things that I was picking up and uncovering and, you know, putting together, when what the pieces that I'm able to put together, because this was written. I've been building on this. We've been teaching on this in the previous lectures, like When in Rome, like Vulture Culture. I mean, it's been nothing is changing. You know what I mean? So tonight we're going to be talking about nihilistic economics and the rise of the Ubermensch, right? And what the Ubermensch is, for people who may not be familiar with it, the Ubermensch is the Superman, okay? The Ubermensch is the Superman from the mind of a German philosopher by the name of Friedrich Nietzsche, okay? Let me get into the presentation because I want to get to it because it is rather lengthy. But yeah, we turning up on the 31st and whatnot. I think Blue Pill will be a part of that as well because we do the When in Rome series together. But on Friday, January the 31st, we will be doing a lecture for When in Rome. Instead of Project 2025, it's going to be called Project Ubermensch, right? Project Ubermensch. Instead of Project 2025, Project Ubermensch, because this thing is about the Ubermensch. Nothing less, nothing more. The language that he used in the inauguration told me everything that I needed to know about what we're dealing with. Okay? Is there like a let me know how, can y'all see this? Y'all see the shared screen. Shout out to Lisa Honeycutt, y'all. Show Lisa Honeycutt some love, family, with the super chat. I appreciate you. Nihilism in modern day USA versus ancient Rome. So when in Rome, right, you're looking at you're looking at the rise of an emperor before your very own eyes. Okay. And you're also simultaneously watch Rome in its quote unquote latter days. You are now witnessing in real time Rome in its descent, right? Both ancient Rome and modern day USA share significant cultural, social, and political parallels, particularly under the lens of Nietzschean nihilism, right? I'm going to share it. I'm going to say this again. Both ancient Rome and modern day USA share significant cultural, social, and political parallels, meaning that there are a lot of quote unquote similarities, right? They say that life is but a pattern of cycles, right? History repeats itself. And when we say history repeats itself, what we're saying in so many words is that time is not linear, time is centrifugal. There are errors and periods and whatnot that continuously repeat itself. So Rome continues to fall, it continues to rise, and it continues to fall. It is a continuum, and we are in what is known as modern day Rome, okay? And the quote unquote the operating system, right? The operating system of Western society is its philosophers who do what? They establish the narrative through the word, okay? They establish the narrative through ideas and concepts. They write books. They are the philosophers. They are the ones who basically program the people on how to think. Similar to a religious person, your preacher, your pastor, and your Messiah or your deity is part of the same thing. Okay. So Nietzsche, right? His form of nihilism is something that he predicted very long ago. This is not a modern day philosopher, right? He did not come around. He came around a few hundred years ago. Decay of traditional values. Ancient Rome. as Rome transitioned from a republic to an empire. So you hear the conversation being had. I've heard the word republic more times in the last 5 days than I literally probably have heard it through the years that I was learning about the republic from the Moors, right? As soon as they taught me about the republic, I began to, pick up on whenever somebody would speak on it. And that was only done behind closed doors, more so in private spaces. But now you're hearing this said right on a public, in public stages and on the news, mainstream media, right? So this republic is it's going to form into an empire. Okay, this is going to transition from a republic into an empire. Traditional Roman virtues such as duty, honor, and collective responsibility eroded, right? Traditional Roman virtues such as duty, honor, and collective responsibility eroded. The rise of hedonism. There's never been a time ever where hedonism, I'm saying in these modern times that we could necessarily remember, going probably all the way back to the 18, the 16, the 1500s. There's never been a time where hedonism was available to children and it was being seen around the globe in real time like now. Do you know how many in a chat, how many pornography sites do y'all think that's out there running right now? How many sites? Just take a guess. Okay, just take a guess. Keep in mind, you have to add in OnlyFans, and you have to add in Fansly, and you have to add in the other 10 other sites that are just like OnlyFans. Okay, you got to put that in there. Then you got to add in the AI porn sites or corn sites, because I want my shit monetized, right? The amount of live cameras that are on at any given minute, right? Where people are allowing voyeurism and they are doing things that will be considered hedonism. I'm not judging. I'm definitely smudging. I'm not judging though, right? It is what it is. This is the Kali Yuga. We are living in nihilistic. This is an aesthetic of nihilism. Okay. This is a day and time where we said that entities have walked this planet through portals that were opened up by either CERN or other quote unquote scientific organizations. You feel me? And shit done change, right? Yes, millions of camps. This is the most hedonistic time in history. In history. What I'm not a fan of is I don't like overindulgence. I don't like excess. I like everything like I like my hip hop. I like the originators and not the clones. I like primary source and not the facsimile. I like OG, you know what I mean? I like balance, but I respect, like if there's I respect I respect the source, the prototype. There's spin-offs and clones and Xerox copies of watered down renditions of real authentic shit, y'all. That's the shit that I'm not feeling. You feel me? It's like when everybody was selling crack. That wasn't for everybody. Some people had crack DNA, right? Some people were programmed to be the most crack. They were Nino Brown. Down to the motherfucking DNA. Okay. I don't see no crown or Nino Brown. I would put casinos down. Like, yeah. This is something called deluge. It's a flood. When it was not accessible and you couldn't find it everywhere, it had more value. It hit different. Hit different. Right? People want what they can't have. Right? So the rise of corruption. Biden pardoned himself. Trump came through. He let criminals out. He put bounties on people's head. He unleashed the first wave. This is just the first wave. It's waves to this shit, bro. Watch. And I'm not being what people will call, fear mongering. Nah, hell no. I know what I'm looking at. It's all good. Like, y'all signed up for season 25. Let it do what it do. I made it through Giuliani, man. But I know that it's gonna turn up. I know it's going to be like a movie in a minute. American X mixed with Purge, mixed with Squid Game, mixed with Hunger Games. He had all of the horsemen with him. Wait. You have to understand. You don't have to understand, but I'm saying everybody is in this shit together. You see it, and they're showing you in your face the corruption. Obama sitting next to the nigga laughing. The corruption. Biden pardoning Fauci for mad bodies. Right? They're giving him Leopold numbers, huh? Biden pardoning his family for crimes that you don't even know that they commit. You ain't even know. You looking at Hunter, he pardoning the whole crib. He didn't even pardon Hunter. Again, he should have double washed him. Trump just doing what he want to do, right? Roman shit. Collective responsibility gone. Ain't nobody worrying about the responsibility of the collective. It's all individualism now. The social media lock that in. If you know what I mean, look. Modern USA. Nietzsche predicted the death of God, right? Or the decline of universal value systems. So when he said God is dead, and when they talked about the death of God with Nietzsche, right, which was a profound statement when he made it, and it is still today. This is what we call Western man. This is, when Umar get the school open, I need a room in there. This shit is some psychology class right now. I'm giving you the psychological DNA of Western man. It is Friedrich Nietzsche, bro. I'm giving you I'm really telling you where we are. We are looking into the minds of the modern day Roman. So we don't have to be confused about what it is that we're seeing. It is all about perception. What you perceive is what you believe, and belief is everything. There are people walking around this planet. They be in my inboxes, and I hear murmurs of these people when I'm on the MTA IRT train talking to themselves with no Bluetooth, and they be on YouTube and TikTok talking to y'all. And they be having y'all convinced that a lot of shit is what it's not. Disinformation is worse than what? Disinformation is worse than living in ignorant bliss. Niggas that live in ignorant bliss live better lives than niggas that ran around and got some disinformation. And they spreading disinformation and they don't know what the hell is going on. So modern USA, Nietzsche predicted the death of God. So the death of God is symbolic because he was like, yo, God and religion was the thing that held people together and whatnot. That shit is done. He predicted that the West is going to be living where God is dead. Henceforth, why the president comes in, what's the first thing that he does? He gets right in his bag about bringing God back. He gets right in his bag about restoring God. He gets right in his bag at the inauguration and brought the motherfucking choir come in, and they was singing shit that I swore was on like the Omen soundtrack. I don't know. Maybe a Jason movie. I don't know, but they came in singing some spooky shit, bro. And then they had the preacher nigga, the Timu MLK. He got in there and did some crazy shit. And I was like, oh no, this is a wildest ritual. On MLK's birthday, they had Timu MLK come in there with a man unit on, talking great. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. And we shall reach the mountain. You'll see the video in the lecture. Shit. They was cooking. I'm telling you, he was cooking. Homie was cooking. Trump. What? That was super symbolic. That was a super ritual. Super ritual. Homie is going Homelander on niggas, bro. You just wait. The golden age. Right? He's speaking to his base, and he's speaking in a language that they were programmed to listen for. Okay? They understand everything that he's saying. They understand everything that he's about to do. Deal with everything. It is a part of the grand plan. And I'm going to show you part of the plan. Right? So today, American society faces widespread disillusionment with religion, right? Look, think about it. This is what he wrote. And if it's true, just press 1. Today, American society faces widespread disillusionment with religion, government, and institutions, replaced by consumerism, individualism, and cultural relativism. So people be like, damn, why white people be doing what they doing? And they be like, yo, man, I don't know if white people know what they doing. And they be like, yo, man, why is it so hard out here for a pimp? And oh, man, because they have a script that they're sticking to. They are working to bring Friedrich Nietzsche's philosophy to life. It's not just happenstance. They're not just like, yo, we can't control it like the wildfires. Social engineers, right? A whole bunch of actors, bad actors, the theater of politic actors, all of them are acting and they follow a script. They all know what the script is, and they are all signed up like a Hollywood production to play parts that are interchangeable. The parts switch up like how musical chairs do in R&B groups, my nigga. In the roster of Rockefeller when it was at its heights. It switches up. It just changes every other 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. But these people is playing a position. Why they letting the people die in the cities where there's Democratic mayors? It's part of this nihilism. It was written like The Simpsons, like Blue Pill said. It was written, bro. They know exactly what they're doing. They want this to happen. They have figured out the Hegelian dialect, and they've also figured out how to get mad rich 8, 10, 9 ways on the dysfunction that they create. Bread and circus controlled through entertainment. They was doing it at the Coliseum. They was doing it at the Gladiator. They're doing it right now. Who's going to be at the Super Bowl? Rome controlled its populace through gladiator games, free grain, and grand spectacles to distract from political decay and economic inequality. If anybody is running around with the red MAGA hat on talking about this is the golden era and politics are getting better, and you don't realize that you're watching political decay where someone who was a reality star and also a convicted felon and also a real estate developer who went broke 8 times is literally the emperor right now of the free trade world, and he got people kissing his ring, world leaders from all around the world. This is a reality star, fam. This is an extra in the rap videos, fam. You understand? That's who he was. And a WWF wrestler. He was a regular. He is the child. He is the quote unquote weed roller of Vince McMahon, fam. And you know who Vince McMahon is? This is what's going on. This is political decay. This is not a flex. You cannot flex and say anything about this. It is a bad episode that that's so surreal that it's going to take decades for people to figure out what just happened. So Rome controlled its populace through gladiator games. That's the NFL. That's the football games. That's the Super Bowl. That's the NBA games. That's a little bit of fighting. That's a little bit of arguing. That's the NBA VH1 reality show with their wives, so you can lust over them and see them do shit that's not worth, not worth a fucking nickel. How you got all of these women on these shows with new teeth and Birkin bags, and they don't got no Bitcoins? They never invented anything. You feel me? They're not really pushing really nothing innovative, but they got a bunch of quote unquote platinum cars where they could swipe, and all we get is hair, hats, and bags. Like it's come on, fam. They've been doing this for about a decade and change. You don't got no biddies. Y'all don't own no buildings. Like, we don't have what's going on? The biggest flex out of that whole fucking reality show shit is somebody selling sex toys. Like that's the biggest flex out of the whole Housewives of Atlanta franchise is Candy and her fucking sex toys. That's like the only stable thing out of that whole function, man. You know what I mean? People is watching these girls on Zeus act like Prometheus bars, right? What the fuck is Jocelyn and them doing? I don't even watch that shit. I can't. The trailers is triggering me. The trailers are triggering me. Then they got all of the dating games and whatnot. 414 Theory, salute, right? Then they got all of the dating shit. Then they got all of the YouTube channels that are like, I'm talking about dumpster juice. Then you got Sexy Red tweeting, putting out pictures, AI, where she dancing with MLK and got shut down. And you learned from that situation that they not dumb, they just playing dumb. Okay? They just playing dumb. So the bread and circuses is at an all-time high. It's almost intoxicating. It has a tint of opiates in it. Niggas is literally leaning with the droolington. Okay? That's how much that shit is laced with the Fetty. Right? People are stupefied. TikTok is stupefying these children on the brain rot on that shit is criminal. Facts. Rome controlled its populace with the gladiator. All right, in the US, mass media, social media, and entertainment industries play a similar role, numbing the public to systematic issues such as wealth inequality, climate change, and political corruption. Look, there's 1% of some Nordic people, the majority of them was at the inauguration, they own more wealth than 90% of the people who look like me and you, who, when they were in certain positions, when they had certain things going, when they had the opportunity, it don't seem like they took it. Somebody said it's not chess, it's Uno. Bars. Like, they didn't take it. That's what I'm saying. And although we know to the end of the road. The end of the road, fam. That's where we at right now. For this 2.0. Whatever's coming after this is a 3.0. Okay? But this shit is that you see they burn the pervert. If what they're doing right now, if we were to look at it in the lens through the lens of a movie, it was the movie Platoon when they burning the bridges, or they burn, you know what I mean, or they burning the boats, or like Platoon, the scene with William Dafoe when he was running to the helicopter and they was like, come and get me and whatnot, and the Viet Cong was gunning them down all in his back. That's where we at in the movie right now. Trump line niggas up. and they burnt the bridges and they burning the boats. And you are going to see European people you're going to see them pull the mask back, and they are going to willingly show you their fangs very soon. In mass. They're going to show you their fangs. First is going to be your co-workers, then it's going to be your employers and whatnot, but they about to show their ass because they're getting told, not through dog whistle, through executive order, that they don't have to play the game anymore, that they don't have to be your friend anymore, that they don't have to wear that mask, the mask that they had to wear before the N95. Remember, these people follow rule of law, Roman rule of law. I'm talking about the Romans, not you niggas. They convince y'all to be just like them and to mimic them and to become what you despise the most. And they lined y'all up. They lined the people up. They lined niggas up to be as corrupt and as demorал and as devaluable and as trash and as compromised as their compromised spirits. And then niggas got hip. They got that's how it's almost like Interview with a Vampire. The Interview with a Vampire movie, the Pause one on Netflix, is the symbolic representation on how they bit you like vampires and made you one of them. Okay, the way that they bit you is from the biddy all the way to Bitcoin, all the way to when they got niggas selling their soul for dollars. When they were selling their women, they had you pimping your women. You was a night walker after that. You were a vampire. Once they convinced you to sell your woman on the street, that was the first Lestat. That's why Lestat looked like a pimp. That's why Lestat got the pimp. He's dressed like a pimp, my nigga. That vampirism, that's pimping. And then they had you convinced to sell drugs to your mother. That was another vampirism. And then they convinced you to kill your brothers and stuff like that and to touch these little girls. That was another vampirism. And then they convinced you to be a chichi man and whatnot and do all kind of sodomy and whatnot. That was another vampirism. You niggas are day walkers too, right? That's how they cast their spell. These are vampires, okay? These are vampires. Your favorite actors, anybody that went to the all-white Diddy and the all-black Diddy and the all-pink Diddy party, yeah, compromised by the vampires. Energy vampires, spiritual vampires, spirit cookers, it goes all the way, because if they get you, they got you, right? But it's levels to this shit. They cook you on paper with the contract. That's vampirism. Got you locked into a contract for 3 lifetimes. Less that. Interview with the Vampire, right? Interview with the Vampire freezes you in time. You don't grow. These niggas are in their 3rd childhood. Like how vampires will stifle your age growth and whatnot. Your favorite rappers are still 17 when they still the same age that they were when they got bit. You feel me? And they're not aging on some Pharrell shit. The rappers and the actors and some of them, they are stuck in whatever age they were when they got turned out, flipped, bit by the vampires. Yeah, Jim Jones had vampire life. Loss of higher purpose. Nietzsche warned that societies losing a sense of higher purpose or meaning will fall into nihilism. We lost our sense of higher purpose and meaning. I hate to say it. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I'm not on doom screw. I'm not on the doom and decay and everything. I am a realist, right? I could separate feelings and emotions from truth. And it's almost my duty to keep it authentically real with you. I could put lipstick on a pig. You feel me? I could blow smoke, but I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. Our people lost our sense of higher purpose. I'm from a lost generation. Obviously, it got lost in my generation, I feel, because the generations that came after me, a lot of them didn't even really see that shit. They didn't even really live through it. henceforth why my generation is reaching for something that was lost. They'll never be happy. They'll never be content. They always are chasing something of a time that does not exist anymore. Okay? They like, damn, son, I wish I could bring it back. I wish I could go back in the days. I wish this shit would feel like it used to feel. Man, I wish if I knew what I knew now and I went back, you know, back in the 90s or the 80s, man, I would be a king, right? That's how you have Kang, right? Who's a time traveler, right? Who was supposed to be Jonathan Majors, right? Kang the Conqueror. He's able to jump through times and whatnot, right? Like Biff on Back to the Future. He's able to jump through times. He's able to jump through multi-dimensions. He's able to jump through the multiverse. If you're able to jump through the multiverse, or if you're able to jump through the timeline, and you could go back to who you were in the 80s with the knowledge that you have now, and with the insight and with the AI, the ancestral intelligence that you have now that has unlocked because of these cycles that you have around the quote unquote sun, right? And through experience, because the experience unlocks the intelligence, it unlocks the wisdom. You can't necessarily, it ain't just through meditating either. It's through force, it's through action. God is a verb, God is guiding. We are here for experiences. We are here for experiences. We are here to, there's no such thing as I've had every experience, I'm ready to go. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. It's unknown, untold experiences that you can have in your waking life. And as you go through experiences, you pick up wisdom and intelligence, and you be able to see things because your vantage point completely changes. Things that I see is different from things that my 4-year-old sees based off of experience. Okay? If he had as much experience as me, he would be able to see things the way that I see it. Or be able to explain things in the way that I'm able to explain it. Be able to quote unquote, articulate. And, he has his way of articulating, but you know what I'm talking about. So what Nietzsche talks about, right? When he speaks about the Ubermensch, right, is the man who is not slowing down, the man who is not pumping his brakes, the man who is not content with this reality that he sees himself in, because man is the builder, the generator, operator, and destroyer. Nothing remains the same. Everything is subject to change. That's what God does. God changes things. But they have man in a place right now where he don't want to change anything. He don't want to do nothing. He don't want to ponder. He doesn't want to expand his quote unquote mind. He don't want to expand his footprint. He has Costco's, he has Walmart, he has the NFL, he has Pornhub, he has Netflix, he has video games, he has YouTube, he has IG, he has TikTok, he got mad distractions. Man has become lazy, man has become lethargic. We have entered into what Nietzsche predicted as the last man. Okay, there's a movie that said The Last Man Standing or The Last Man Tomorrow, something like that. There's a philosophy. Remember, like I said, the same way that we take the writings of the philosophies and opinions of Marcus Garvey, the writings of Noble Drew Ali, the writings of Elijah, the writings of the master teachers, and then we build upon it. We make books about it. We make movies about it. We stand on it. That becomes our narrative. They have the same type of master teachers, and they teach us about their master teachers when we're in college. Because if you're in college, you're going to learn about their philosopher, Friedrich Nietzsche. You're going to make sure you learn about Carl Jung, Friedrich Nietzsche, and a few others. Okay? So this is the script. These are the teachings. These are the thought leaders who have designed this social, quote unquote, environment and these social engineers and this society that we live in today, right? It's not a reach. I'm not pulling my arm with this. Okay. So we can't ask nobody to help us. We can't wait on nobody to help us. They are the ones playing the fucking game. They will never help you. That is not in the script. The script is to act like they help, throw a bone to a nigga, let a few in the door and whatnot, but they gonna vampire you. You just food. They're like, oh, come through. We're gonna dangle a carrot in front of your face. Like I said, if you was a time jumper, you would have all of the money in the world. If I was able to go back to last week, I would make $10 billion off the Trump coin. I'm cooking. I could buy everything that I could buy niggas. I could buy loyalty. I could buy hitters. I could change the world. Feel me? If I wanted to entice, and if I wanted to capture, and if I wanted to spirit cook, I got all of the means to do it. Because I know that the currency is God in this reality, or in this timeline that we're in, or in this this dimension that we find ourselves. There's dimensions where that doesn't even fucking matter. The money is not even it's not even in the script. There's no money in the script. In the USA, the mass media, social media, yeah. So Nietzsche warned that societies losing a sense of higher purpose or meaning will fall into nihilism. Both Rome and the USA exhibit systems of moral exhaustion. Do you know what moral exhaustion is? Moral exhaustion is, you know what? I'm exhausted. Fuck morality. Moral exhaustion is my timeline with the Gaza war, where at some point I got so numb that I sped past it and I was like, yo, I'm exhausted. I'm morally exhausted. And then you seeing people, and you know certain people, you just moral exhaustion. It's real, right? People on the IRT and the MTA, moral exhaustion. Everybody watching the news, moral exhaustion. Post C-19, moral exhaustion. All of the school shootings and the hands up, don't shoot it. They wore niggas down. With societal focus shifting to power. Remember, society has shifted their focus to power, wealth, and technological dominance instead of spiritual or philosophical growth. He wrote this a long time ago. What have you seen, especially since Trump come into office, that the societal focus, not just a few people, what they call Silicon Valley always existed. There always was technocrats. There was always billionaires running it up. There was always billion-dollar companies. There was always rich people. Now you got all of media. You have written media. You have television. You have social media and other indicators of mass attention and whatnot, focusing on shifting the power and the wealth and the technological dominance. The billionaires, the technocrats, the oligarchs, what they call the overlords, right, are now becoming emperor and king. They're doing it gradually. They're interjecting shows. They're buying. Remember, you can buy programming, and I could bankroll a series to be made. There will be, all of my plans will be interwoven into the script and whatnot. So you're getting all of these shows like Billions, Succession, all of these things are just bringing you into this world where you are going to be worshiping the quote unquote ground that these oligarchs walk on. Right? Yeah, the robber barons 2.0, the same thing that they had with the robber barons. You know what I mean? They lionize criminals, the robber barons. Okay, the Carnegies, the Vanderbilts, and all of them. So the Musk, the Elon Musk, the Zuckerbergs, the Four Horsemen, like we spoke of in earlier episodes. I will drop the link for that classic episode called Behold the Pale-Faced Horseman. And it talked about the 4 pale-faced horsemen that I predicted, I believe, a year or 2 ago. I'm like, watch them. These are the ones right here. They act like they don't like each other, but they connected by the hip. Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and Andreessen Horowitz. Is America the new Rome? The parallels between America and Rome, right? Of course, there's books that you can read to get you caught up. They got audio and all of that. You could catch up. There's a lot of writing online on Amazon and other places where you receive your reading material. We could even bring some books into the book club, right? But it's a lot written on that. Here's just a brief sample of what's in this book right here, Ancient Rome and Modern America. Recently, I have begun to love spending hours learning about the history of Rome. Within the past year, I've probably read a half a dozen books about the Roman Empire. I've spent nights watching long documentaries and YouTube videos about historical empire, and I've taken a couple university history courses that pertain to Rome. I am now so infatuated with Rome that my phone screensaver is a photo of Marcus Aurelius' statue. The reason behind my recent fascination towards Rome is the parallels that could be drawn between late historic empire and my homeland, the United States of America. Both nations, Rome and America, were and are so preeminent and revered for their respective time periods. During antiquity, Rome was the most powerful and influential nation to ever exist. Their might was immense and unmatched. At their peak, the Roman Empire stretched into 3 different continents: Europe, Asia, and Africa. Almost every dominant empire since has aspired to emulate the Romans, with some even appropriating their name, i.e. Charlemagne's Holy Roman Empire. Now listen, Europe, Asia, Africa, okay? Remember that, all right? Europe, Asia, Africa. So when we look at what Trump is doing, moving into the future as he begins this crusade, make no mistake about it, please don't be hoodwinked or bamboozled. Don't fall for the okie doke, and just don't take my word for it. I'm just the messenger. Go and do your research. They got these tools out here called deep research and deep seek and whatnot. These AI tools that blow Google out of the box, and you could be the expert researcher with these co-pilots, right? So go ahead and do your digging. Okay, go and do your digging. But this is a crusade that Donald Trump will be enacting. He has the Christian nationalists ready to march, like the White Walkers were ready to march on Game of Thrones. He has the brown shirts like Adolf had, right? He is rallying up his army. He is rallying up his militia. He is rallying up his state troopers and the troops. He is rallying up, he has a global marching army. They're getting in bed. And I feel that the main target is Africa. That's the plate that everybody is going to link up and try to go snatch. That's the chain that they're going to snatch. They want Africa. Make no mistake about it. They want the continent. Okay. And of course, they want to remain on this land that they were executing and whatnot, that their time was up and they should be packing up, ready to leave. And I'm going to show you, these people know that they're not from this land and that they benefit from basically, through a criminal act, taking the resources of this multi-trillion dollar estate. Multi-trillion or multi-million acre estate. The Americas, North America, South America, Central America, Canada, the islands, all of that through the doctrine of discovery. Okay. Shout out to Rainmaker making it rain up in this thing. I appreciate you. Shout out to Rainmaker. Y'all show some love to Rainmaker, y'all. America, like the British Empire that eventually extricated themselves from, views themselves as heir apparent to Romans. This sentiment becomes obvious after just an hour walk through Washington, D.C. The architecture within the capital city is clearly influenced by classical Roman Greece. For example, even the name Capitol Hill is inspired by Rome's Capitoline Hill. Where did he take his inauguration, y'all? Where were they at, y'all? Where did the January 6 people storm, y'all? Right? He just signed an executive order to make sure that all of the buildings are being built Roman style in DC and whatnot. He just signed the executive order today, right? They're literally in Rome, okay, or their version of Rome and whatnot. The satellite of Rome is DC, right? And he is the emperor sitting on the throne in Rome. American presidents have long been compared to Roman emperor. Andrew Jackson was labeled the American Caesar, and he is quote unquote, he is the King Leopold of melanated Indians. Those beautiful women that you've seen, those copper tone, those little babies, them beautiful indigenous tribes and whatnot. Andrew Jackson is the King Leopold of this, the dude on the $20 bill, right? He's the Leopold of our nations. Okay. And I believe that Trump has him hanging up in his Oval Office. Okay. George W. Bush was called the boy emperor. America now has become a global hyperpower with no true rivals, an experience which the Roman Empire shared. When measuring America to Rome, it is easy to draw parallels between the two immense nations, right? So there goes the presidential action. There goes the quote unquote executive order promoting beautiful federal civic architecture. President Trump has issued the Promoting Beautiful Federal Civic Architecture executive order on his first day back in office. Wait a minute. Y'all are not seeing the slides? Oh, Lord. All right, let me see if y'all can. Oh, my bad. Let me take y'all back. These are the slides that I was reading. I didn't know that y'all couldn't see it, but here are the images of what was going on. Y'all should have said something earlier. I just wasn't seeing it if y'all did say it, but here's the images and whatnot. So y'all see it. Like I said, this is the preliminary lecture that's coming up on Friday. Everybody who wants to be there, hit up that link right there. Buy me a coffee, and the mod will also be sending the link. Everybody, I have your email when you do the buy me a coffee. So you'll have this will be Zoom only. This will not be a YouTube lecture because they will take my channel. I would get strikes, all kind of shit will happen. This will be a Zoom only lecture on the 31st on Friday at 7 p.m. It's gonna last hours and whatnot. When in Rome. All right, When in Rome, Project Ubermensch. And we're not going through the whole thing tonight, but we're going to cover enough to where you fully understand what exactly it is that the title has in the title and what this lesson is about and whatnot. You feel me? So yeah, executive orders and stuff, right? Executive orders. Here's a recap. Nihilism. I broke down what the nihilism is, the bread and circuses, Rome controlling its population through gladiator games, right? Is America the new Rome? The parallels between America and Rome, as you can see, the Roman eagle and our eagle and whatnot, similar. They could almost get copyright infringement, right? You see the buildings in Rome, the architecture in Rome, the structure in Rome. It doesn't get more Roman than that, right? Exactly, because if it was anything else, it would have different architecture. It's still not showing. What are we doing? What's going on? Hold on. That's rather odd. Give me 1 minute. Let me share the screen. You said football played in coliseums, right? Football played in coliseums. Let me do this. Okay, this is in case they trying to play games. I don't know if they are. But let me do this. I'm gonna just export it. Give me 1 second. PDF. Then I upload it. Yeah, Gladiator 2. Who saw Gladiator 2? I saw Gladiator 2 with Denzel, right? All Roman. He was the Moor in the movie. He was a Moor in the movie and whatnot. Moving very Moorish, you know what I mean? To whereas he was a triple, like a double agent. And Denzel acted his ass off. He probably was the most exciting part of that. The movie was trash, but Denzel was all right, you know? And I believe it was really, yeah. Choose a smaller file. Give me 1 minute. Reduce file size. Let's try this. That Fed move to cut diversity benefits is wild style. Yeah, it is. Mm-mm. What they mean, keynote? Oh, okay. Just give me 1 minute. This is a coffee break. Go to a little bathroom break and whatnot. As I put this slideshow, I gotta compress the file because the back office is saying that only 50 megabytes. There's so many slides. Matter of fact, okay. Boom, 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 boom. How many people are gonna be there on Friday? Next Friday, put a fire emoji in the chat so I can see y'all. Let me know how many people are gonna be pulling up. I need to tell Blue in the morning, so he'll have, you know what I mean, to create a PDF. Let's see if this works. 5. Come on, let's see. Mm-mm. man. Let me put this on real quick and I'll be back. This is the new song. I don't want no dead silence or whatnot. So give me 1 minute while I figure this out. All right. This right here is off the upcoming project that we have coming out with the 44 Tops, ladies and gentlemen. This right here is the new single off of the project. This project, the 44 Tops, Me and Blue. This is going to be, I believe we're debuting it on the 8th, February the 8th at Brother Rich's monumental gathering called the Non-Ether Gods. All right, the Non-Ether Gods. I'm not judging you. I'm just smudging you. Also, before I get that, a reminder that Blog Talk Radio is closing down. So if you have any shows on Blog Talk Radio that you want to salvage, you got to go and do that. You know what I mean? Because Blog Talk Radio is shutting down at the end of this month.
I'm touching you. I'm just smudging you. I'm not touching.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Schoolie Red. Let's go.
I'm not touching you. I'm just smudging you. It's surprise that you're surprised. The master teacher teaching. The ancestors watching. The devil spent the blood on the star seeds got to drop. Talk back to me. The revolution getting digitized. The movement getting monetized. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. We built pyramids on the rock. More than invisible weapons in the skies. Spirit cookers in the skies. Got tears in the motherland's eyes. Watching her people shuck and jive. Talk back to me. Talk back to me, 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 talk back to me. Oh, the master teacher's teaching, the ancestors watching. The devil spent the block, but the star seeds got the drop. Talk back to me, Lord. The revolution got digitized. The movement got monetized. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. We built pyramids on the third block. Talk back to me, Lord. Imaginary weapons in the skies. Spirit cookers in the skies. Tears in the motherland's eyes. Watching her people shuck the jive. Talk back to me, Lord, Lord. They stepped on philosophy, so close to the prophecy. Facts. Trying to snap box with galaxy, but throw a status at the arch degree. Facts, facts. I'm not judging you, smudging you, just like a warrior's supposed to do. When you need peace, love, and light, peace, love, and light. For his family, the 44 Tops, the 44 Tops. Talk back to me, Lord, the 44 Tops to this day. Lord, the 44 Top, talk back to me. If you didn't have a reason, Jason said tis the season. The 44 Tops, tops. Lord, the 44 Tops.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the 44 Tops. Talk black to me. All right. Yeah, so Schoolie Red, we working this thing, y'all. All right, so we back. We up in this thing. I'm talking about we figured it out. We got this thing moving. They can't stop us. All right. Pull up selector. I'll play that before we get out of here again. I will rinse that one more time before we get out of here tonight. I'm just showing you these slides. We running through this thing. Okay, we running through this thing. Let us rewind the clock and go over it. So boom. So the concept of the Ubermensch, right? The concept of the Ubermensch, right? So transhumanism, technocracy, and the Ubermensch, right? So this is right here a definition of what it is. Ubermensch as an ideal beyond nihilism. So when we say ideas and concepts are what reality is being built upon, right? Reality is a series of ideas and concepts agreed upon, right? And this concept right here is Nietzsche's Ubermensch represents an individual who creates their own values and transcends the meaninglessness of nihilism. Transhumanists and technocrats echo this aspiration using technology to perfect humanity. Okay. So when you see these people coming up with the inventions of an mRNA vaccine, right? When they announced Operation Stargate, and you had your boy, right? You had Trump, and he made his announcement, and he brought in a dude, and dude was like, yeah, we're gonna be putting RNA in individuals' arms and whatnot. And they was like, what the hell? Matter of fact, let me play this video real quick. And this is my dude Ian breaking it down and whatnot. You feel me? Check this out. I'm gonna show the video with Ian. He was going in and he was explaining how this Operation Stargate shit.
We all knew this day was coming.
Is a crock of shit. So check it out.
I just thought it would be more than 2 days into the presidency. This message is specifically for Donald Trump and his team, as well as every Trump voter out there. Fuck no. Listen, Mr. President, we understand that to put America first, you got to make some big deals with some big dollar signs. And we understand that AI is like the arms race of our time. We understand. But I don't think you realize who you're giving the keys to the castle to. I'm sure Larry seems like a great guy in person when he's talking big money to you. But this is how you lose your entire base. This is how you lose every single person in the media that just supported you. I guarantee you this is how you lose Tucker. You'll lose Alex. You'll lose Joe. You'll lose Candace. You'll lose just about everybody except for Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro. The number one reason why you just got elected is because of the way that COVID was handled and because of the vaccines, which we are giving you the benefit of the doubt and giving you a pass despite your love of Operation Warp Speed. The American public is awake to the vaccine bullshit. mRNA technology is not vaccines. That's why they changed the definition of vaccines. And a huge number of your voters were either directly injured by the vaccines, had loved ones killed by the vaccines, or have some very serious questions about the vaccines. Those vaccines were made in partnership with another tech billionaire that has no understanding of genetics, no understanding of medical health, no understanding of anything except for making a profit. And we are working on getting him accountable, and you're already naming another tech CEO for the new health bullshit. See, Larry Ellison is straight up CIA. He founded the original Oracle as a CIA project back in the 70s, which he later shut down before opening Oracle, the corporation, which is totally not a CIA front company, despite the fact that they've been funded by the CIA their entire time. Larry Ellison has always been a huge proponent of a government surveillance state. He was exceptionally vocal right after 9/11. He has for decades wanted a national security database combined with biometrics, thumbprints, handprints, iris scans, or whatever is best to detect people with false identities, i.e. to surveil the American people at all times. And Oracle's already doing that. Oracle is the databasing software that backends basically every website that you use. You don't even know it, but Oracle interfaces with everything, and they have all of your data, your bank account, your checking balance, your savings balance, all Oracle databases, airline reservations, what books you buy, everything you do on the internet is basically already in Oracle's database. And what this plan is applying insane amounts of money to build enormous server farms to make the biggest AI the world has ever seen so that they can unleash that AI into our human data set, into this new fake world they're building. And what better person could you collaborate with than Sam Altman, whose company OpenAI just openly murdered a whistleblower named Suchir Balaji in front of the whole world, and we all know it, and it's super obvious. The crime scene is filled with evidence that this was not a suicide. His apartment was ransacked. He had a meal out on his table. He went into the bathroom and then proceeded to struggle against himself and leave blood everywhere, clearly showing that he was the only one there and that it was just a normal suicide, despite him having a thumb drive, which is now missing, filled with evidence that OpenAI's entire business model is probably illegal and violating billions of dollars worth of copyright laws by stealing the entire internet's worth of content. Yeah, we still don't have answers on that too. And Homeboy is now in charge of the biggest AI ever built. And that's why the internet is ablaze right now with professionals in the health fields saying that this is retarded, like never gonna work, horrible people, bad idea. mRNA technology is causing the cancer. It's not gonna solve it. You lose all of the doctors that spoke up against COVID that are literal heroes and icons now, like Dr. Robert Malone. You're going to lose the support of all the pundits and all the people in the media that were hoping for answers, hoping for retribution. Let's get one thing straight here, Mr. President and your team. We voted for you for a reconciliation, for the Nuremberg trials 2.0, for holding Fauci to account, for undoing some of the medical tyranny that was done to us, the American people, over the last 4 years. This is not good. And everyone who's been paying attention knew that this was coming. The main threat during a Trump administration has always been the technocratic billionaire class getting into Trump's corner and then lobbying him and getting him to do the whole pre-crime, the whole digital surveillance, medical kind of like genetic engineering, science, technology, like this one world government technocratic rule. That has always been the next boss. And we know this. Some of the most valid and loud criticism that I've gotten over the last several months has been from like the Whitney Webb, Derek Bros corner. And they're totally correct that Trump has some seriously sketchy ties to tech oligarchs and to transhumanists like Sam Altman, Larry Ellison, like Peter Thiel. And while yes, I am very glad that Trump won, and I am so much happier to be doing my job and trying to hold the government to account in a Trump environment than in a Kamalanism environment, but I just didn't think we'd have to start on day 2. Like, I figured that we would at least have RFK Jr. confirmed before we had to start fighting the war for the future of humanity. I mean, seriously, remember COVID. Remember 4 years of being coerced and demonized and slandered and straight up like discriminated against or even injected against your will with experimental gene therapies that can cause life-changing side effects. We're never going back. And if you're a Trump voter, It is your duty right now to stand up against this policy and to make your voice heard that we want nothing to do with this. We are okay with innovating in AI and innovating in technology and putting a bunch of money towards America first innovation, but these are not the people to put at the helm of that ship. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so Ian is pissed off. Trump got Ian tight, you know what I mean? And, you know, there's going to be people who are going to begin to see things. So check this out. Ubermensch as an ideal beyond nihilism. Transhumanism, a movement aiming to transcend human limitation, right? Which is aging, disease, and death through AI, genetic engineering, and other advanced technology. Were you aware that Quincy Jones was a transhumanist, right? Are you aware that every billionaire that was in the room with Donald Trump would identify as a transhumanist based on what it is that they do in their corporations, what they, you know, what they legally do in their corporations, right? Aging, they're, you know, technocracy, a system where decision making is led by experts in technology and science rather than traditional political structures, right? So that is what had this is, remember, this is still predicted. This is not something this is predicted to happen, and we can see it happening in the movie. Parallels between transhumanism and Nietzsche's vision. Nietzsche envisioned the Ubermensch as a creative, self-overcoming force, reshaping existence through what? Willpower. I'm going to repeat that again. This is very important. So it could add to what the hell is our Ubermensch? What is right? You know, I always talking about these Uber. Is what it is. This is what it is. Right? So imagine it as a force. Imagine it as a wave. Imagine it as a wave. Imagine it as a whole, you know, a spirit. You know, when they say that it's something sweeps the nation, and you see people just get touched by this, either this creative force, right, or this force of change, right? Like I was saying earlier, force, kinetic force, not confrontational force, but the exertion force, like kinetic force. You know what I mean? A self-overcoming force. You move forth, you march forward. A self-overcoming force. You know what that is. I know people can relate. Reshaping existence through willpower. So transhumanists similarly seek to overcome human limitations through what? Through technological enhancement. So people are becoming very familiar with augmentations. They're becoming very familiar with enhancements. They're becoming very familiar with the what is that? The surgeries that they have to, you know, implement these things, right? So transhumanists are basically the next level of it. So willpower, do what thou wilt, right? Reshaping existence through willpower, right? Basically saying that, look, we have something that we're going to Mars, right? And then you have people just say, you know what, we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make sure that's a reality. We're gonna put the willpower. So they're taking the opposite of that is people that are being robbed of their willpower, right? So transhumanists, they seek to overcome. However, where Nietzsche saw spiritual and existential growth, transhumanism often focuses on physical and cognitive augmentation, leading to debates about whether it fulfills or distorts Nietzsche's vision, right? So transhumanism is not, it's not spiritual, it's void of spirit. Okay, it's void of spirit. Critique of transhumanism through Nietzschean nihilism. Potential for technological nihilism, right? Transhumanism may inadvertently lead to nihilism if humanity loses its sense of identity and meaning in the pursuit of technological perfection. Rise of the technocrats. Technocrats resemble Nietzsche's critique of the last man, those who prioritize comfort and security over higher aspirations, right? So the potential for technological nihilism, transhumanism may inadvertently lead to nihilism if humanity loses its sense of identity and meaning in the pursuit of technological perfection. So that's exactly where man is at this point, right? They're moving in that direction, but let us continue. So this is shown in their artwork. This is shown in their fantasy complex industry. This is shown in their quote unquote franchises of their comic book, their toy industry, their video game industry, their movie industry, right? This is the Ubermensch, right? This is a vision of the Ubermensch. This is the archetype. This is the prototype of that man, okay? As it shows up in the comics, okay? Then, as you can see, there's a correlation that's being made, right, through both fantasy, which would be Homelander and the boys, and then they have this this is Nietzsche as a superhero, okay? But then they have Elon Musk when they talk about the Ubermensch, right? The one who's moving forward, the one who's using willpower. They're identifying him definitely as the Europeans version of that. That's why he gave, that salute, right? What people are calling a Nazi salute, he's definitely identifying as the Ubermensch. And this is something that that Adolf and all of them spoke of when they were speaking of, because remember, he was quoted by Nietzsche, is quoted by Adolf in his pursuit of what he called the Superman, which is the Ubermensch. So this is definitely what German Trump, right? Who's a German. This is the philosopher who he is he's following, you know what I mean? So this book is good. This is a good reading, How to Become a Ubermensch, right? A philosophy for men of action, a philosophy for men of action, right? All of their action heroes are in action, right? There's an action hero, men of action, men of power, men of, the Superman, the Ubermensch, the Superman, the man of the superior man and whatnot. Because even when it comes to the literature of what they would call the far right, or the literature of what they would call the 14th letter organizations, it's all about superior man and the man of action. Okay. That's what they're dealing with. Okay. That's what they're all dealing with. And of course, Trump is speaking that language. His whole inauguration speech was to speak to the Ubermensch, to speak to the golden age, to speak to the willpower, to speak to, here are examples: self-mastery, will to power, embrace of life, epic meaning, transcendence over society, unrestrained freedom, ethical independence, pursuit of the authentic self, portrayed as a warrior like archetype. 10, fearless. 11, willingness to face challenges. These are examples of the Ubermensch. Okay. So there you go, your boy Elon with his he was letting he was doing what he was doing. You're supposed to know who he is at this point. Okay. So you have the metahuman, posthuman, transhuman, superhuman, superman, superhuman, right? This is how it shows up in film, cartoons, fantasy, and all of that, interwoven in all of their literature, right? This article speaks about when did transhumanism become the religion of the super rich, right? Once upon a time, there was no obscure mailing list. It only had about 100 people on it. Yet in this digital village, there was arguably the greatest concentration of brain power since 5th century Athens. There was Hans Moravec, pioneer in robotics, Eric Drexler, pioneer of nanotechnology, Eliza Yudkowsky, father of the rationalist movement, Max Moore, father of modern transhumanism, Nick Bostrom's, founder of long-termism, and trying to see the bottom of it. Okay. Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks. Yeah. It all started in Bristol, England. There was a young man called Max O'Connor who grew up and went to study philosophy at Oxford. But Max wanted more excitement, more life, more everything. He changed his name to Max Moore and moved to California, where the future is invented. He changed his name to Max Moore and moved to California, where the future is invented. His dreams took root in the soil prepared by Californian transhumanists of the 1970s. Many of them were members of an organization called LS, dedicated to the colonization of space by a genetic elite. The members included Timothy Leary, Marvin Minsky, Isaac Asimov, and Freeman Dyson, and his magazine was named Ad Astra, which was what Elon named his school for SpaceX kids in 2014. Max was also inspired by Robert Ittinger, an American engineer who argued that humans should soon become immortal super beings, and we should freeze ourselves when we die so we can be resurrected in the perfect future. While doing a PhD at the University of Southern California, Max got a job at the Al Gore Foundation for cryonic preservation. And in 1989, he started a magazine with his fellow philosophy grad, Tim Murrow, called Extropy, Journal of Transhumanist Thought. Do you want to be an Ubermensch? The first issue asks. Ubermensch, Overman, or Superman is the German word used by Friedrich Nietzsche to describe the individual, male or female, who has overcome all obstacles to the perfection of him or herself, right? So it's not a scary word. You know what I mean? It's not conspiratorial. It's just giving you an understanding of the archetype that they summon, that they speak of, that they create, that they write from, that they create from, that they aspire to be, right? That they teach their children to aspire to, not just only to be, but to summon, to create, to build the Ubermensch, to bring it to reality, to basically do what Prometheus did when it with the fire from Zeus and whatnot, play God, basically have the willpower mixed in with the action to do it and do it. That's the Ubermensch, the one who forges forth, moves forward, has no fear, is unstoppable. It's going to bring his or her reality to life. They're gonna, it all started in Bristol, England. Okay. Okay. Estropy often featured photos of Moore himself looking like an Ubermensch with his chiseled jaw and blonde ponytail. Okay. We, however, want to be those who we are, the new, the unique, the incomparable, and those who give themselves their own law, those who create themselves. Friedrich Nietzsche, The Gay Science, page 335. Will a self, active, successful, nature's act, not according to the dictum, know thyself, but as there hovered before them the commandment, will a self, and thou shalt become a self. Friedrich Nietzsche, Assorted Opinions and Maxims. If you wanted to be a Superman, you should sign up to be an extropian. Extropy was the opposite of entropy, an escape from death into unlimited possibilities. Extropians are individuals who believe in growth, but in their own abilities and intelligence and in their culture. Humans were at a turning point in history, a time when computers, artificial intelligence, nanotechnology, self-modification, physical immortality, and other factors promise to radically transform virtually every aspect of our existence. The extropians had superhuman ambitions, but initially only took baby steps. The journal featured adverts for mail order smart drugs, articles on psychedelics as self-modifiers, and even hokey instructions on how to visualize your optimal person, taken from Tony Robbins. But this was just a limbering up before the real serious work began of genetic modification. In the near future, Max Moore wrote, individuals, couples, or groups will decide on the genetic constitution of their children, no doubt eliminating deficiencies and maximizing the offspring's mental health, physical capacities, and emotional stability. There should be no authoritarian government control over such choices. This was the difference between the extropians' genetic schemes and the eugenics of the 1920s. The goal was similar: engineer a species of Ubermensch, but the technique and the ethos very different. H.G. Wells had promoted a one world state in a global ministry of eugenics. The Estropians were libertarians who believed in polycentric, privately produced law and competing digital private currencies, more likely to quote Nietzsche, only there where the state ceases does the man who is not superfluous begin. The Estropians were anarchists. We should avoid paying tax extortion, the lifeblood of statism, and should pay no heed to unjust laws, whereas we can. Their greatest enemy was the Food and Drug Administration and its safety fascism. They planned to create an offshore transhumanist utopia, Estropolis, Extropolis, perhaps, or Free Oceania, with its own cryptocurrency. The Extropian Journal and mailing lists featured articles by Hall Finney, Nick Szabo, and Y. Day, three pioneers of cryptocurrency and three leading candidates for being the people behind the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto, inventor of Bitcoin. We know at least that Nakamoto sent the three his white paper for Bitcoin, and Finney was the first to receive a Bitcoin transaction. To truly be free, the extropians needed to leave Earth and build libertarian communes in space, or escape the meat sack of the body. We can leave our weak, vulnerable, stupid bodies and brains for something enormously superior, more promise. Hans Moravec assured his fellow extropians that this would be the next step in evolution, cyborgs. Could carry on our cultural evolution, including their own construction and increasingly rapid self-improvement, without us and without the genes that built us. When that happens, our DNA will find itself out of a job, having lost the evolutionary race to a new kind of competition. There were other early transhumanists slash cyberpunk magazines in the 1990s emerging out of California's hippie tech subculture. There was Wired magazine, founded in 1993 and inspired by Stuart Brand's Whole Earth catalog. There was Boing Boing, founded in 1988, inspired by the transhumanism of Timothy Leary and Robert Anton Wilson. And there was Mondo 2000, which started life as a psychedelics mag in 1984 before morphing to a celebration of transhumanism and cyberpunk. Its founder, Are You Serious?, was also inspired by Leary's SMILE philosophy, which is space migration, intelligence, expansion. Okay. There was other early, hold on. Okay. Life extension, space migration, intelligence expansion. Its strapline was how to mutate and take over the world, but it was less into genetic modification and more into psychedelics, occultism, music, fashion, and biohacking. You got a good flavor of the scene from some of Mondo's adverts. All right. So these are some of the magazines. But if the hipsters were reading Mondo, the really serious people were on the extropian mailing list. That's where you could find Eliezer Yudkowsky, for example. Yudkowsky was born to an Orthodox Jewish family in Chicago in 1979, but he soon knew he was different. When he was 11, he tells us that he took the SAT and came second out of the entire 7th grade of the Midwest. Age 17, he wrote, I have an intelligence enhancement, which is not evolutionary disadvantage. Genetically, claims of being a genius, particularly accompanied by the word evolution, if not generally, evolutionary disadvantage involve Nazoid, self-righteous statements about the dawn of a new and evolutionary destiny. A project to enhance human intelligence must prove itself free of the Nazi master race meme. Elisa was far too smart to be a Nazi. Nazism is a stupid political philosophy. I specialize in perceiving logical flaws and self-delusion in things like political philosophy. Anyone smart in the same way that I am isn't going to be a Nazi. He dropped out of school. He joined the extropian mailing list. Finally, he had found his people, although he thought extropians were under ambitious. Eliza was in a hurry. He wanted the singularity now. I had to have it. I had to have it with crack out. Wait, I had to had it. I have had it. Okay. I have, pardon me, because these words are mad small on my screen. I have had it. I have had it with crack houses, dictatorships, torture chambers, disease, old age, spinal paralysis, and world hunger. I have had it with the planetary. Hold on. With a planetary death rate of 150,000 ancient beings per. Okay, let me go back to the top. I have had it with the planetary death rate of 150,000 sentient beings per day. I have had it with this planet. I have had it with mortality. None of this is necessary. The time has come to stop turning away from the mugging of the corner, the beggar on the street. It is no longer necessary to look nervously away, repeating the mantra, I can't solve all the problems of the world. We can. We can end this. His urge to spark an intelligence explosion was only sharpened by the tragic death of his 19-year-old little brother in 2004. He declared, you do not make peace with darkness. You do not make peace with Nazi Germany. You do not make peace with death. Another super brain on the Estropian mailing list was Nick Bostrom. Nicholas was born in Helsingborg, Sweden in 1973. He also dropped out of school and had an awakening moment reading Nietzsche in a forest. It's hard to convey in words what that was like. In 1996, when a postgraduate at the LSE, he joined the Extropian mailing list. It converted him from a romantic to a transhumanist. You cannot become an Ubermensch, he decided, by any magic trick or hokum, or by the power of wishful thinking, or by semantic acrobatics, meditation, affirmation, incantation, or by an act of parliament, only via a reconfigured physical situation through technology. In 1997, he founded the World Transhumanist Association with fellow transhumanist philosopher David Pearce. Bostrom became the leading philosopher of transhumanism and the ethics of human enhancement, with the capacity both for dry analytical analysis for lyrical rhapsody, as in his 2008 letter from Utopia, a letter from our future self, urging us to embrace enhancement. All right. Okay. The eugenics of bliss. How do we get to utopia? We need to embrace genetic engineering to increase our intelligence. This has led to accusations of transhumanists like Bostrom are eugenicists. Yes, they would probably shrug. So what? The OED definition of eugenics is the study of methods of improving the quality of human population by the application of genetic principles. Francis Galton and his disciples had sought to enhance intelligence and create masterminds through the clumsy methods of the stud farm, treating humans like cattle in the process. Both Bostrom argues for genetic enhancement in terms of individuals and parents' right to fulfill their potentialities. Transhumanists promote the view that human enhancement technologies should be made widely available and that individuals should have broad discretion over which of these technologies to apply to themselves. Morphological freedom, and that parents should normally get to decide what reproductive technologies to use when having children. Reproductive freedom. Indeed, as parents should want the healthiest children, enhancement might even become something of a moral obligation. Gradually, Bostrom predicts, there will be a shift in public attitude to genetic modification. He writes in his bestseller, Superintelligence. Humans' reproductive cloning, once achieved, could be used to replicate the genome of exceptionally talented individuals. Even a relatively small increase in the number of exceptionally talented people might have a significant effect. And it's possible that some state would embark on a larger scale eugenics program, perhaps by paying surrogate mothers. The dark history of eugenics might put some nations off. However, nations would face the prospect of becoming cognitive backwaters and losing out in economic, scientific, military, and prestige contests with competitors that embrace a new human enhancement technologies. Individuals within a society would see places as elite schools being filled with genetically selected children who may also, on average, be prettier, healthier, and more consensuous, and will want their own offspring to have the same advantages. This is some chance that a large attitudinal shift could take place over a relatively short time, perhaps in as little as a decade, once the technology is proven to work and to provide a substantial benefit. So keep in mind, this is written a very long time. All right. We got to move through these stories real quick. So this video, yeah, let me see if I can play this. Okay. So check this video out, y'all. All right. This right here is going to get into Prometheus, right? And it is very instrumental, very, very instrumental when we speak about Prometheus and this whole situation.
Prometheus, sculptor of man, far-seer and foreseer, stealer of fire, teacher of the arts and sciences. You saw mankind groveling in the mud and filth like animals, their spirit broken, and you could not bear to see it. You mustered your clever will, your transgressive creative will, and stole fire from shining Zeus. Enlightener, patron of mankind, you lifted us from the mud and taught us the arts of civilization and high culture. You showed us what it is to live freely and nobly again. You opened our eyes. You gave us the power of gods.
So they worship Prometheus, right? Because in the mythology, he's the one who brought forth fire. And fire is what they use to move forward. This fire is, Prometheus stole the fire from Zeus. And it's the fire that got the caveman in the position of power that he's in. It was the fire, it was the ability to make fire. Remember, these are people who lived in very, very cold environments, but when they were able to create fire, they were able to forge.
While the Genesis myth demonstrated the price we pay for higher consciousness and the state of paradise which we lost in its acquisition, the Prometheus myth shows us that higher consciousness is also a divine gift. From this myth, we might even posit a life-affirming transhumanism, a transhumanism of the kind which Nietzsche imagined in his Ubermensch. Nietzsche believed that the story of the fall was life-denying because it represents suffering as an error committed by Eve through passive folly. He contrasted this with the active sin which Prometheus commits by stealing fire from Zeus. Nietzsche writes, "The presupposition of the Prometheus myth is to be found in the extravagant value which naive humanity attached to fire as the true palladium of every ascending culture, but that man should freely dispose of fire without receiving it as a present from heaven, either as a lightning bolt or the warming rays of the sun, struck these reflective, primitive men as sacrilege, as a robbery of divine nature." Thus, the very first philosophical problem immediately produces a painful and irresolvable contradiction between man and God, and moves it before the gate of every culture like a huge boulder. The best and highest possession which mankind can acquire is obtained by sacrilege, and must be paid for with consequences that involve the whole flood of sufferings and sorrows with which the offended divinities have to afflict the nobly aspiring race of men. This is a harsh idea, which by the dignity it confers on sacrilege, contrasts strangely with the myth of the fall, in which curiosity, mendaciousness, deception, susceptibility to seduction, lust, in short, a series of preeminently feminine affects, was considered the origin of evil. What distinguishes the Greek notion is the sublime view of active sin as the characteristically Promethean virtue. With that, the ethical basis for pessimistic tragedy has been found, the justification of human evil, meaning both human guilt and the human suffering it entails. In the first video in this series, we reinterpreted the fall as active and life-affirming, and interpreted Eve's theft of knowledge as a Promethean act. But even with this reinterpretation, the story of the fall highlights the suffering which higher consciousness brought upon us by separating us from our instincts and from nature. Prometheus redeems this suffering and justifies the price we pay for knowledge. In this way, Nietzsche's point stands. While Genesis highlighted the role of the feminine in our evolutionary history, the myth of Prometheus highlights the role of the masculine will to power and justifies Eve's theft of knowledge. Mastering fire allowed our ancestors to cook meat, which likely contributed to the rapid growth of our brains. Mastering fire gave us a source of warmth, which allowed us to conquer the cold and migrate to the northern hemisphere. Fire allowed us to forge more powerful weapons and tools from bronze and iron. In short, fire unlocked everything we needed to create high civilization. The towers and spires of cities which reach towards the lofty clouds, the revelations of artistic vision, the innovations of science, even the shining bronze and...
Keep in mind, fires, large fires, are rituals to Prometheus, right? Remember, this is their god. This is literally their god. Okay? The movie that came out, it the Prometheus movie, it had aspects of this myth in it and whatnot, of course, but Prometheus, the one who betrayed Zeus and brought them fire, they so those fires in California, they could be, Prometheus is the fire. They do rituals to him. You feel me? They do. So any big fire in Hollywood would be to him.
plumed helmets of heroic warfare were created by our Promethean will to rise above our condition. Prometheus teaches us that life is not survival alone. In us and in all life, there is a divine fire, a will to transcend, a will to overcome, to progress, towards what end only nature knows. The flame of life does not smolder and sputter meekly in our hearts. It hungers for the heights, for the ecstasy and frenzy of creation, and for the exaltation of the created. With the acquisition of higher consciousness depicted in Genesis, our species lost the blissful and ignorant state of instinctual animal living, and with Cain's conquest of Abel, we lost also the nomadic, pastoralist lifestyle which most closely resembled our pre-human, hunter-gatherer existence in nature. Agricultural living is by default filthy, lowly, and crushingly oppressive. The historical life of the farmer has often been no better than that of the beasts which he drives. As much as he has domesticated his animals and broken their will, they have domesticated him and broken his. His skin is scabbed from flea bites, his joints ache from locusts whose glands celestial society. Then you welcome things once.
Yeah. I know that they're gonna go crazy on the YouTube shit. Yeah, you understand? That's why this presentation is for Zoom, and more than likely I'm gonna have to cut that footage out because they're gonna strike my channel when this is over with. But yeah, next Friday we'll be doing the breakdown. Well, you'll have act. That's why I was reading some stuff and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna read the whole thing on in the lecture. This is gonna be everything. I'm just giving you some highlights right now. So this article is talking about more with the Ubermensch and the correlation to what Silicon Valley is doing. You know what I mean? Just to drop the receipts and establish the whole context of what's really going on versus what they got people believing and whatnot, which is, they got people believing something that's completely not what it is. Modern day nihilism, symptoms in society, right? Modern day nihilism, the symptoms that you see in society: disconnection and alienation. Social media, automation, and digital consumption have created a detached virtual existence for many. This mirrors Nietzsche's warning of societies losing connection to their authentic selves, right? So with the article that came out last year that talked about the highest energy signature that we could send is our authentic self, right? As being the most authentic person, then, when you see this, that's almost the antithesis to that, right? Consumerism as a coping mechanism. the malls are empty, granted, right? But UPS and Amazon are making deliveries because people are ordering. You know, they're on their phones and they're online getting those bags from, you know, shopping all around the world now. Consumerism as a coping mechanism, you know, that's been the message through the music since I was a child. Of course, we are only customers. We not only the hustlers. We definitely the customers in the eyes of the you know, much like Rome's decadence, modern consumerism attempts to fill the void by declining moral frameworks. This will this will to consume replaces Nietzsche's will to power. So in one sense, Nietzsche talks about the will to power or willpower. This modern day society has a will to consume, not a will to power, but a will to consume, right? And they are consumption based, okay? Only the customers, they not the hustlers. The majority of them are customers or consumers. Ethical ambiguity and power struggles, geopolitical conflicts, corporate exploitation, and environmental degradation showcases the dominance of self-interest over collective good, exemplifying a moral void that Nietzsche warned against. So that's something that you definitely see on a global scale. And you know, these brands, you know, these billion-dollar, trillion-dollar brands, they play a big role in fulfilling the destiny of these philosophies and these philosophers. Okay, so the future implications, the technocratic Ubermensch, right? So the technocratic Ubermensch is the ones who are following the teachings of Ray Kurzweil, who put out the book The Singularity is Nearer. He's one of the leading thought leaders in that space when it comes to singularity, not just transhumanism. Transhumanism is one thing, singularity is also another. He has a lot of future predictions, and Ray Kurzweil was the one who basically came up with the whole idea of the different epochs, right? There's different epochs of just in his, you know, in his predictions, the different epochs signal and signify how far man is from basically tapping in and becoming that Ubermensch that they are all, you know, and you know, they're all collectively trying to get to that. That's like how back in the days they were searching for the philosopher's stone, or you know, they were searching for the fountain of youth. This is what they're doing right now. So here we have AGI, right? OpenAI. They said AGI is coming. Okay. So what AGI is basically, you know, in so many ways, it's the beginning. It's the earliest version of transhumanism. It's the beginning of an era where the computers are going to start thinking, right? Versus being chatbots and whatnot, just being able to chat and doing a little bit of searching. Now AGI is a level of AI where the computer becomes sentient. Okay. So there's narrow AI. Narrow AI is capable of carrying out one specific task. That's like narrow AI, like Alexa or your GPS. AGI is able to learn several tasks independently, right? Narrow AI must be programmed by and does not evolve beyond the programming requirements. AGI auto learn to carry out tasks that it was not initially programmed. So AGI could carry out, they could get up and do things, it could think, it could reason, right? And this company, OpenAI, who brought ChatGPT to the world, they're in a race to become the first ones that basically come out with this technology. And yeah, this technology, when it does pop out, is going to change everything. Right now, we're in 2025, what they label the age of the agentic AI, right? The agentic AI, the AI that's an agent that basically could take over and do tasks for you and whatnot. Today, OpenAI released a new automation called Operator that takes over your whole computers and whatnot. If there's anybody in the audience who saw that reveal of the new app that they have, put a one in the chat. You know what I mean? 2025 is going to be the year of agentic AI, and that's going to be AI that's going to be doing things for you. Now, this is a book that I was telling everybody to get maybe I think a year ago when I did the show about the four horsemen. Okay. So this is called The End of Reality: How Four Billionaires Are Selling a Fantasy Future of the Metaverse, Mars, and Crypto. Right? So this is the description: an instant bestseller, a brilliant takedown and expose of the great con job of the 21st century: the metaverse, crypto, space travel, transhumanism, being sold by four billionaires: Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Andreessen, Elon Musk, leading to the degeneration and bankruptcy of our society. At a time when a crisis of income equality, climate, and democracy are compounding to create epic wealth disparity and the prospect of a second American Civil War, four billionaires are hyping schemes that are designed to divert our attention away from issues that really matter. Each scheme, the metaverse, cryptocurrency, space travel, and transhumanism, is an existential threat in moral, political, and economic terms. And in the end of reality, Jonathan Taplin provides perceptive insight into the personal backgrounds and cultural power of these billionaires: Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Mark Andreessen, the four, and shows how their tech monopolies have brought middle class wage stagnation, the hollowing out of many American towns, a radical increase in income inequality, the unbounded public acrimony. Meanwhile, the enormous amount of taxpayer money to be funneled into the dystopian ventures of the four, the benefits of which will accrue to billionaires, exasperate these disturbing trends. The end of reality is both scathing critique and reform agenda that replaces the warped worldview of the four with a vision of regenerative economics that seeks to build a sustainable society with healthy growth and full employment, right? So boom, this book comes out, people read it, they have a lot of reviews on it. I think it's a bestseller and shit like that, right? So then there's articles that come out, they say that the tech billionaires are going to be at Donald Trump's inauguration, because keep in mind, this is not regular. They were not known to be his friend. They were not known to be in his friendly to his administration. They were not known to be in the same room, all of them, and sit at the table with this man. So the day of the rally, these pictures pop up, they go viral, and people get to see that, you know, these oligarchs and these technocrats are literally a part of this administration right now. Okay. So this article is about the rise of the intelligent ables, right? The agent economy. We are entering a new era where individuals and businesses will interact with and manage, or for some to be managed by, a network of AI agents. These intelligent assistants will handle routine tasks, administrative duties, and project setup, freeing people to focus on higher level functions such as creative thinking, building relationships, and fostering trust and business development. This shift marks the emergence of an agent economy where AI augments human capabilities, driving innovation across all sectors. So when you hear a lot of noise about this, when you hear this, when it becomes very mainstream, understand what this is, understand what the agent economy is. Don't let nobody trick you out of participating in it. Don't let nobody scare you. Don't let nobody convince you. If it's something that you want to research, go ahead and do your research. But it's $1 trillion economy. And, you know, it is what it is. Physical AI, bridging the digital and physical worlds. The power of agentic AI extends beyond the digital realm, seamlessly integrating with the physical world to unlock new frontiers in automation and efficiency, offering multi-trillion-dollar opportunity in industries from transportation to healthcare. So I'm gonna breeze, like I said, I'm breezing through it. There go the there goes some of these tech billionaires. These are the technocrats, right? And this is the, you know, the world that they are going to be responsible for building. You know, this is what they're into. This is what it ultimately leads to. All right, in so many ways. What is nihilistic economics? Nihilistic economics is not a formal branch of economics, but rather a perspective or critique of economic systems rooted in nihilistic philosophies. Nihilism is the rejection of inherent meaning or value in life, and when applied to economics, it challenges the moral, ethical, and the philosophical foundations of economic systems. Nihilistic economics tends to focus on the following ideas: the rejection of morality and markets. It questions whether economic systems should have moral or ethical boundaries. Now, I've seen over the past few years, mainly the few decades and whatnot, the morality that people are willing to remove, right? In all situations, okay, but definitely in the market and whatnot. Uh, it's something that I could relate to a statement like this. Focus on power and self-interest. It emphasizes that economic actors often prioritize power, profit, and self-interest over societal well-being. Inevitability of exploitation. Nihilistic economics assumes exploitation, inequality, and resource depletion are inevitable outcomes of unchecked capitalism or any economic system. Detachment from value systems. It suggests that economic decisions and systems are often driven by material gain, disregarding concepts like justice or fairness. And as you can see, my dude from the Wolf of Wall Street and everybody that has the iPhone, these are the minds that have this is where the material for the iPhone is coming from. Let's just keep it at that. You know, this is nihilistic economics. You know, just the people at the bottom are completely forgotten. Okay. And it you know, so go to 4, the horsemen, you know, the pale face horsemen. There's even a book called The Four. Okay. Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple. The Four, you know, and in the mythical world, right? And in other and in other news, you know, these characters that they are giving us on TV, they have correspondence in the real world. Art imitating life, life imitating art. These are so-called superheroes, but they're really super villains. This this is Homelander from the TV show The Boys. And that sister back there, that sister Sage, who in this universe, she's the smartest woman on the planet, right? In this world that they live in this universe of The Boys, Sister Sage is the most smartest brain on the planet. Okay, and I think that's firecracker right there. But yeah, this series right here is definitely required watching to understand a lot of the political shenanigans that are taking place. And when we talk about Donald Trump being Homelander, this is the show that Homelander's in. And these are this is the good guys, right? And the proverbial bad guys are perceived as the good guys. They in the public, they're the superheroes, but they're really the bad guys, you know, very nihilistic. This is one of the most, yeah. So that's the richest man in the world right there, by the way. Allegedly, but that's it. That's what they say on the on record. That's the richest man. That's the inauguration. You know. So the book is The End of Reality, How 4 Billionaires. The book is The End of Reality, right? So somehow all 4 of these people wind up at the Trump. They Trump's, you know, now they in bed with Trump. They scaling back their businesses to be in alignment. Meta's firing everybody now that they don't have to, you know, now that he's rescinding all of these executive orders, you're seeing the people's true face, right? They show, look, this is all of them showing their true mask. And they're also pledging their allegiance to do whatever needs to be done to make anything that needs to happen, right? These technocrats are the new oligarchs. These technocrats are written of by Friedrich Nietzsche. They are all in the pursuit of the Ubermensch. Mark Zuckerberg, if you read anything that he's been writing lately, you'll see the verbiage all in that. Jeff Bezos, if you get into any projects that he's funding and what he's into, you'll see the verbiage all in that. And then of course, Elon Musk, when you get into whatever he's putting out and what he in his latest writings and his latest his latest white papers and whatnot, they all speak to the philosophy that we were just breaking down. They're all in alignment, and some from Google too, right? Some from Google too. So it was a con job, right? It was a con job the whole time. It was an inside job. The whole time they just letting people know. They didn't just run down on Trump and decide they're gonna kiss his ring and and pledge their allegiance because he beat Kamala Harris and or they was always kind of like in bed with him from the gate. You know, but all of these people together, yeah, these are not politicians. These are none of these people are considered good people. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to root about and be excited about, you know, unless you have their stocks and you're a shareholder or something. Other than that, you know, this is these people are not up to no, they're definitely up to, they are considered the home, you know, they are that same thing at the boys. They're the 7 with Homelander in them. Okay, so another form, you know, this is just the nihilism aspect, the nihilistic economics, right? Nihilistic economics doesn't have a distinct historical origin, but can be traced to ideas in philosophy, sociology, and critiques of capitalism. Key influences include Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher of nihilism. Nietzsche argued that modern society had abandoned traditional value systems. While not an economist, his ideas about value and power resonate with critiques of market driven systems that prioritize profit over human welfare. Next is Karl Marx. Marx's critique of capitalism aligned with some nihilistic principles, especially the inevitability of exploitation and alienation in labor markets. Game theory and behavioral economics. In the 20th century, economic theories that emphasize self interest, i.e., Nash equilibrium, showed how rational actors often behave in ways that disregard moral or ethical considerations. So that's Marx and that's Nietzsche in that picture, in those pictures right there, to put a face to the name. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of this right here. That's the end of my presentation right there. So that's just to give you, you know, um, some insight to what's going on. You know, a little bit of insight as to what's going on in this world, this Western world, where everything that's being done is still being done in the name of Western man. Like that, nothing changed. It's just Trump stepped in. He's gonna ramp it up, and you know, he said what he said. Like he said it. The inauguration is all you need to listen to. You know, everything that needed to be said was said right there at the inauguration during that ritual. Um, yeah. So the nihilistic economics, the rise of the Ubermensch. We're gonna even explore this concept much, much more leading up to the 31st. This is not just a one and done. This is an unpacking. It's a lot of information. I got a ton load of more information that we started getting down a rabbit hole. And you know, it it's eye opening. It's eye opening. You know. Yeah, he was crystal clear. He said manifest destiny. He said golden age, you know, best, you know, they had a dude that Saudis came, you know, everybody's just coming through, kissing the ring, uh, funding whatever the operation is gonna be, because the operation is still unfolding. I I definitely know that Project 2025 will be implemented, and he'll be like, I didn't say that, you know what I mean? Like Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, Project 2025 is for them though. Let's be clear. I don't want nobody to be fearful of what project. Look, at the end of the day, the people that we know, the people in our community, we got our affairs in order. We are family orientated. Like we don't fall under none of the parameters that that these executive orders are naturally having an effect on. You know, for those of us, there's going to be like there's been a loss of jobs, or there was a loss of labor. The labor force was being pillaged, and Trump is going to come and pillage it more, and it's going to force people to begin to be to use their willpower, right, and to use willpower and force to make it happen. You know, to make it happen. We good. We not falling into none of that. You know what I'm saying? We're not falling into none of that. So I don't want our people to be reactionary. As you can see every day on the news, they got him doing something where they're gonna push fear, doubt, discontent, resentment, people ready to fight each other, and all kinds of things. Nah. Shout out to Dequan with the $10. I appreciate you. Yes. Cook spirit cooking once again. Yes. Cook. Yeah, let her cook. Yeah, we in the kitchen. Let her cook. As you know, it's 2 in the morning where I'm at. So we are gonna wrap this up. You feel me? It's 2 in the morning. And we had to swim through technical difficulties and some other things, but it was a great lecture, great information. We put down a lot. I will put the PDF that I was reading and Buy Me a Coffee. You'll be able to access that. You could claim it after you buy it's Buy Me a Book, really, but yeah, you'll have access to that PDF. You could read that. There were panels, there was stuff that I wasn't able to get through because I can't read everything. You understand? You can't read everything. Do you see Trump's son being president in the future? Yep. Barron Trump. Hell yeah. He's already building his political portfolio because he helped to get his father into office with the youth. So he's already in politics. He's like how Blue Ivy is in music. Barron is already locked in and, basically pulling off the biggest upset in history. That was some of his work. That was some of Barron's work. I think Barron. And so Anthony said, not my future. By time Barron Trump is being president of which I would call America, it won't be the America that you even know at that point. So it definitely he doesn't have to be your president because at the time where he'll be president, you won't even be in the jurisdiction of the place that he'll be president. So don't even worry about it. But he will have there may be a point where if you have 100 million followers, you'll be granted like the territory to basically build a whole city, a mega city with your 100 million followers. The ticket price right now is donation based because I'm doing this only tonight for y'all. Not even the people that see the replay, they're not even going to get that. So for Friday the 31st, no, yeah, Friday the 31st, which is next Friday, you'll be able to get the lecture. This is going to be a fire lecture. Win in Rome. We bring in the Win in Rome series to 2025. Project Ubermensch. And we're gonna do a real deep dive, a deeper dive. and whatnot. Definitely back in the hands of the people, with the people, the benefit. Let me just say this without having to get into a long drawn breakdown, because once again, we don't control the media, we don't control the algorithm. You feel me? Like, and when I say we, I'm using we figuratively, because I don't even know who we is. You know, we got to count the head. We need a head count. We need our names on the blockchain. We need a real voting system, so we really know who we is. I run into we when I move around and I travel and whatnot. We is everywhere. You feel me? We is everywhere that I go. Real talk. Wherever I go, I see we. But if we was able to be counted and connect and capture kinetic energy, or to capture your currency and make moves, you don't have to worry about DEI. You don't got to worry about him cutting affirmative action that was helping Becky's and a lot of other people out and whatnot. Him doing things with the civil right. None of that has nothing to do with you when you work collectively and you move as in a whole new, if a whole new dimension if need be, a whole new timeline if need be, a whole new reality if need be. That's that is exactly what you be the Ubermensch. Remember, the language of German was something that people that look like us mastered. Like, Germany was very melanated, heavily melanated. So the concept of the God, that's the black God. You understand? Remember, Germany worships. They still have they have adoration for the quote unquote melanated black gods and whatnot. So you tapping into your Ubermensch, you leveling up, you taking your gifts and your talents and whatnot, and you're not worrying about these people providing for you. The way that they're gonna set this republic up and the way they're gonna set up this empire, you know, your paperwork got to be right. Your business, you got to be dressed for the party, but you'll be able to play big ball. You know, you'll be able to play ball. Yes, Latoya. Shout out to Latoya. Give Latoya some love and whatnot. You just bought the coffees, and I appreciate you. Now, I got this thing about flattery. I tell people I ain't a Tesla. I don't run on batteries. You feel me? I don't do flattery. That's something that I had to in my growth and development. I don't do flattery. So if y'all don't want me to flatter y'all, you just let me know, because I don't do that. I could do without it. You know, I don't gas me. You feel me? I don't do Exxon, Sunoco. I'm good. You feel me? Because the people that gas you up the most, they be the ones that pour gasoline on you. How about that? Some people get shot, you know, they don't want to get you, they don't want to get shouted out. Yo, tonight was a beautiful night, a beautiful time. There are some announcements that we have to make from some of our sponsors before we get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, gods and goddesses, you know what I mean? Thank you everybody for tuning into that Tuesday episode. That was a classic right there. We was tapping in. Residents of New Orleans, the day is coming very, very soon. It is coming upon us, all right? It is coming upon us. We will be linking up in the beautiful city of New Orleans on Monday, February the 10th. We're going to be tapping in with the family on that grid, whatnot. You know, I'm talking about doing Melanin Monday live in the building. You know what I'm saying? After the Super Bowl and the halftime show, Kendrick and the sister Scissor, the Scorpion and the Gemini. It's going to be magic. I could do magic. Right? Brother Red Pill will be out there. Melanin Mondays with special guests. February the 10th, doors open 6 to 10 p.m. at Ital Garden, 810 North Claiborne Avenue. You could get your links. You could get your tickets. The link is in the description. and it will be pinned right there in the comment section. Thank you for everybody that has purchased tickets already to show up. I can't wait to see y'all at the Ital Gardens Monday, the day after the Super Bowl, Melanin Monday Super Bowl, New Orleans. And then we're going to be in on February the 8th, we're going to be with Brother Rich. Let me pull that up. We will be with our good brother Rich at the New Black Wall Street. All right. And he has an event called the 9 Ether God Fest. The 9 Ether God Fest. That is on Saturday, February the 8th. All right. So if you in the ATL or if you coming to the ATL, please make sure you in the building for this. 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. February the 8th. They're going to have a lot of people, a lot of vendors, a lot of presenters. This is not a lecture. This is more like a musical showcase, and it's gonna be like poetry. These are all but the master teachers though. Sister Myra, Cambada's gonna be there, Loaded Lux is gonna be there, Blue Pill is gonna be there, Dr. Sirius B is gonna be there, Billy Carson is gonna be there, Red Pill is gonna be there, Ra'al Ku is gonna be there, B Dell is gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Sister Erin is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of people there. I don't even have the list in front of me, but it is a lot of people there for that night. And then the next night, we are going to be doing the after party where we're going to watch the Super Bowl. We're going to watch the halftime show, and we're going to be turning up. We're going to have the after party, the day party that's going to turn into the night party. That's on February the 9th. And then the next day after that, we doing New Orleans. So as you can see, our whole strong end is stacked up. It's magical. It's going to go down in history. We're going to make sure we capture a lot of content. More than likely, might even do some IRL streaming on, like I'm a streamer. I might even do some live streaming from the venue, from the whole strong end, and take y'all on a journey. But yeah, that's what that is, y'all. That is the word from our sponsors. Let's go ahead and rock out to this song. Just know on February the 8th, also, we are releasing this project, which is an EP, 7 songs. It's an EP, you know what I mean? And it's fire. It's going to be a classical project. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Schoolie Red is in the building. Peace.
I'm just smudging you. It's surprise that you're surprised. Teachers preaching, the ancestors watching, the devil spent the blood of the star seeds got to drop. Talk back to me, the revolution getting digitized, the movement getting monetized. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock, we built pyramids on the third rock. More with invisible weapons in the skies, spirit cookers in the skies. Back to me, talk 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 back to me. Oh, the master teacher's teaching, the ancestors watching, the devil spent the block, but the star seeds got the drop. Talk back to me, Lord. The revolution got digitized. The movement got monetized. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. We built pyramids on the third block. Talk back to me, Lord. Imaginary weapons in the skies, spirit cookers in the skies, tears in the motherland's eyes, watching her people shut the job. Talk back to me, Lord, Lord. They stepped on philosophy, so don't do the prophecy. Facts Try to snap box with galaxy, but throw a status at the arch degree. Facts, facts. I'm not judging you, smudging you, just like a warrior's supposed to do. When you need peace, love, and light, peace, love, and light. For his family, the 44 tops, the 44 tops. Talk black to me, Lord, the 44 tops to this day. Lord, the 44 top, talk black to me. If you didn't have a reason, Jason said 'tis the season. The 44 tops, tops. Lord, the 44 tops. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Facts. Red, blue, purple light, friends. Red and blue, purple light, friends. Facts. You can get to know the ledger, sacrilegious Sunday to melanin Monday. You can get to know the ledger, my love. Just open your third eye on Thursday. Lord, the food, the art, the clothes, the Vatican's getting exposed fast. We put the show on the road. You better stay on your toes. I was till the land focused on the ego. Then I open my heart, let go of the ego. Grand after grand, we're stacking up these C notes. Facts, facts, yeah. We gon' put this shit on our backs. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up where we at. Facts, facts. Peace, love and light. Peace, love to the family. Peace, love and light. To the family. Peace, love and light. To the family.
These days and time, black man, is going to be the time that you have been waiting for. You came here for a reason. Whatever pressure, whatever adversity, whatever the fuck you feel, I don't know what you feel, but whatever you may be feeling is going to push you, and it's going to provoke you, and it's either going to make you or break you, similar to how pressure busts pipes or the shit makes diamonds.